live on your tablet, phone, and the KUTV app. This is 2 News Live.
Thanks for joining us for 2 News Live tonight. I'm Heidi Hatch. It is Monday, January 29th. We are going in depth tonight on the effort to bring an NHL franchise right here to Utah. Before we dive in, though, we want to take a look at what is making headlines across the state today. First up here, Kent Cody Barlow hearing continued. The man accused of driving under the influence and killing 2 young boys in Eagle Mountain will have to wait for his next court hearing. Kent Cody Barlow was set to be back in court today for the first time since his charges were upgraded to first-degree murder, but his hearing had to be canceled because one of his attorneys was sick today. Barlow set to be back in court on February 7th. And also happening today, or tomorrow that is, Salt Lake City Mayor Erin Mendenhall giving that State of the City address. Prior to tomorrow's address, the mayor released an update on the goals that she set out for last year. Mendenhall says the city accomplished 52 of the 60 goals they set for themselves. That includes the adoption of a 5-year plan to address housing affordability and also the implementation of the police civilian response team. Another headline today, Salt Lake International Airport set a new record for the number of passengers last year. If you were at the airport, you knew the crowds were big. In 2023, more than 26 million people traveled through Salt Lake International. The growth can be attributed to an increase now in the number of international passengers. And also today, we're getting our first look inside the new Red Cliffs Utah Temple. The open house for that temple in St. George will start on Thursday. It'll be open to the public until March 2nd, except for Sundays. Reservations can be made online. As we go in depth tonight, you can always get in touch with us. All you have to do during the show is use the hashtag 2NewsLive to join the conversation. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Send me a direct message to weigh in. It's TV Heidi Hatch. Well, in a unanimous decision today, lawmakers voted in favor of bringing an NHL team right here to Utah. The joint resolution follows a formal push from Jazz owner Ryan Smith and his business group to bring pro hockey to the state. Ariel Harrison was at the Capitol today when that vote was taken. So, Ariel, it sounds like the governor is in on the action as well.
That's right, Heidi. The governor actually met with NHL officials following the vote on the Senate floor. From my understanding, some of those lawmaker partners participated in that meeting. So just a discussion to kind of look at what bringing an NHL team here to Utah would look like. It was just last week we mentioned that the Smiths, Ryan Smith, Ashley Smith, the Smith Entertainment Group made this bid to NHL to bring a pro hockey team to the state, talking about how, hey, that could happen immediately if we use the Delta Center as an arena for a starting point that's hosted hockey games before, but then also exploring the possibility of building an arena. Lawmakers do agree that the Delta Center could be a good place to start, but they are also, like the Smiths, open to building a brand new arena. They say that Utah has the space for that, the capacity to do that. They mentioned areas like the Point in the Draper area where the old prison was. Salt Lake has made it known that they have an interest, if there's a new arena, that they would love to play a part in that they have the space here as well. Lawmakers talked about other areas for a potential arena build as well. That would involve taxpayer dollars. They touched on that just a little bit as we spoke with them after the vote today. Talking about how they need to look at the funds, but that would involve our money. The Senate president touted, though, Salt Lake and Utah's experience on a global stage when it comes to bringing even more pro sports here. For instance, we've hosted the Ironman in the Washington County, St. George area, so southern part of the state. That's something that takes place typically in Hawaii, and they could have gone elsewhere for that, but they chose Utah. We've hosted the Olympics once. We're hoping to do that once again in 2034 in 10 years. So they said we've performed really well in that regard, and Senate President said beyond football, beyond baseball, NHL, so hockey, and then we obviously have soccer and basketball, among other things. He'd like to even see football here at one point. So they're aiming high. They want to see this happen. Now the state is invested in that, and it looks like lawmakers are showing support for what the Smiths were really pushing for last week. They thank the Smiths and their efforts to bring hockey to the state, Heidi.
For sure, it seems like everyone's excited and on board for this, but what happened for people who are watching at home right now? There's no teeth to this. They were all just there putting their name on the record saying, yes, this would be awesome. Let's go for it, right?
Yeah, so from my understanding, it was a vote today that just shows the widespread support, so support on both sides of this, but it now it's a resolution, as you mentioned, Heidi. It just goes to the House where they consider it and then throw their names in the hat as well to put support behind this. But the main thing today, from my understanding from lawmakers, was, hey, we want NHL to know that the state backs this. People here in Utah want this, in addition to what the Smiths, Ryan Smith and his family business group is pushing for.
All right, an exciting time for growth right now. Ariel Harrison live outside the Capitol. Looks like some kids out there playing with bubbles. It's a great day for it. Gorgeous out there. You can stay with 2 News as we continue to follow the push for an NHL franchise here in Utah. You can find all of our past reports and interviews online at KUTV.com. Trent's here with the forecast. And Trent, you play hockey, so I'm assuming this is something that if you could vote in a resolution, you'd say, I'm cool with it too.
I would like to, as long as they're not playing out of the Delta Center. I've seen a couple games there, and it's not the best place to watch hockey, but if they bring it to the Maverick, that is a awesome place to watch some hockey, so I am all for that.
Why is the Delta Center not good? I'm not
sight
in on
lines
this.
aren't that great. It's made for basketball mostly, and a hockey rink is a little bit bigger, so there's some corners there where you don't get to quite see what's going on behind the railing, and so that's my main concern.
All right, fun facts you won't get anywhere else. All right, Trent, I know we're talking about nasty air moving in, but the temperatures are great.
So nice today.
It was so nice. I went out for a run. I'm like, what's a little dirty
I
air?
I might get out to blow some bubbles with my cats later
Do
or something
it.
like that, because it was really nice today. We got up to 53 in Salt Lake City, and across the entire country, really just mild weather for late January. We aren't expecting these kinds of temperatures. Let's go ahead and take a look at that map, and I'll show you what's going on. So we've got some cooler air well off to our east, but it's not all that cold. I mean, 39 as a daytime high in Chicago is not mid-January temperature. 61 in Kansas City does not feel like mid to late January. 70 degrees in Oklahoma City, 70 in Houston, 81 in Phoenix, and 78 in Los Angeles. Here in Salt Lake, that 53 actually felt rather cool. Our WeatherBug network had 74 as a high in Mesquite, Nevada, 69 at Crimson View Elementary, 57 in Moab, as well as Price Duchesne, 56, and 55 even in Cedar City today. And our high temperature today is about 7 degrees, or I should say about 13 degrees above normal and about 4 degrees shy of a record high. So pretty close, but not quite there. And of course, the valley haze has set in as it's been here for the last couple of days, and it's not going anywhere anytime shortly. Our air quality right now across the Wasatch Front is in that moderate category, as well as the West Desert. Same air quality out there. A little bit better, though, as you head towards the Uinta Basin. Not quite as gnarly out there. And we are expecting that air quality forecast to remain pretty similar through at least Wednesday, with mandatory action in place. So please reduce the amount of travel that you're taking. Think of alternate transportation methods, maybe even carpooling. All those are great ideas as we head forward. 0% chance for precipitation through Wednesday. It starts to creep up on Thursday, but really the big rain here across the Wasatch Front will come in Friday, and then maybe a little bit of snow mixing in by Saturday morning. It's not going to be a really cold or impressive storm. We're not issuing any kind of first alert weather days for your travel issues. It's going to be just a mild and wet storm here across much of the state. So here's our high pressure, and here's that late week storm that's going to come in straight out of the west. And as it does so, it kicks this high pressure off to the east. So maybe a couple foggy mornings between now and Wednesday morning, and then we start to kick up those southwest winds on Thursday, which brings in the cloud cover as well as those precipitation chances for southwestern Utah. As early as 8 a.m. on Thursday, we might be seeing some light rain down in St. George. It's going to take most of the day on Thursday for that precipitation to reach here in northern Utah. Again, valley rain and mountain snow. Those snow levels are going to be rather high for this time of year. Not even Cache County will be seeing a whole lot of snow out of this. The rain continues Thursday night into Friday, and here's the future rainfall amounts that we're going to see over the next couple of days. So by Thursday afternoon and evening, this is stopped right at 5 o'clock. The main focus area right here is going to be in southwestern Utah, where we might see about 1/4 of an inch, locally higher amounts up towards a 1/2 inch, totally possible. Here in northern Utah, the rain doesn't get here until late Friday, really, and it starts to actually pour at a pretty good clip. We're looking at light to moderate rainfall through Saturday afternoon. Those totals reaching that 1/2 inch mark across much of northern Utah, but generally 2 to 8 tenths across the entire state. And if we look past Saturday, which is February 3rd, towards February 4th and the 8th, above normal precipitation continues to remain likely across pretty much the entire western half of the U.S. So that's something that we're looking forward to as we roll into February, is that wetter weather coming our way. 66 in St. George through at least Wednesday, and then the rain showers turn on Thursday and Friday. Those temperatures drop as a result into the upper 40s, near 50 degrees, and then we clear out by the end of the weekend, so not too bad as we head towards early part of next week. Hazy skies here in Salt Lake City through Wednesday. Temperatures remaining very mild, about 10 to 15 degrees above above normal for this time of year. We're hitting 54 on Wednesday, cloudy skies on Thursday, and then the winds kick up. The showers turn on Friday, mix of rain and snow potentially on Saturday, cloudy skies to follow. And if you're trying to get up and go skiing, might as well do it over the next couple of days while it's still sunny and mild. The snow turns on Thursday, so you might have some PM travel trouble getting down from the mountains. And then Friday, it's going to be tricky because that morning snow commute up into the mountains will be rather difficult. And then I imagine this weekend is just going to be as busy as ever, Heidi.
I know. I haven't even skied yet this year, so Saturday's marked on my calendar. I'm planning on going. So
let's see it.
Hopefully it's nice snow globe snow while I go.
So.
All right. Thank you. Hey, remember to download the 2 News weather app to know about changes in your neighborhood. Get updated forecasts, live radar right on your phone. The app is free to download. Well, have you heard about this? The thief who stole Judy Garland's ruby slippers will get no jail time. Terry John Martin broke into a museum back in 2005 and took the famous shoes as one last heist. He believed they were encrusted with real rubies that he could sell. When he found out it was really just sequins and glass, he gave them away to someone else. That person tried to claim the reward 6 years ago, leading to Martin being charged last year. The 76-year-old is now in hospice with an expected 6 months to live. Federal guidelines would typically recommend at least 4 years behind bars, but in this case, they're leaving it as is. And a reminder, you can find KUTV 2 News live on your phone, your tablet, or your computer. You can stream our newscasts on the KUTV mobile app, Stern, News On, and YouTube. They're all free to download, the Apple App Store or Google Play. Super easy to use. And if people are heading out tonight, it's cooling off, but this fake spring is sticking around for a few more days.
It is. It's only sweater weather, not quite winter jacket weather, so no need to bundle up.
All right. Bring the pumpkin spice back. Sweater weather is here.
Do it.
Thanks so much for watching 2 News Live. We'll be here at 5:30 Monday through Friday. We hope you join us again for more in-depth conversations on the topics that impact you and your family. Have a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow.